guys, welcome back again from Tampa Bay. I'm just shooting over to the post office today, but I wanted to talk about an important subject, and the only reason this is coming up is because of a discussion that happened yesterday in one of the motorcycle groups I'm in, and it just kind of got me thinking on pretty recent events involving this subject, and the whole thing revolves around being a responsible, in all sense of the word, motorcycle rider. Now I know up front, this is a topic that is going to piss a lot of people off. I know I'm going to get hate on this. I know the 20-year-olds that think they're invincible and they're going to have every reason in the book for why what they're doing is right, are just going to stomp all over it. And the old timers that they're set in their ways and they know how it is, and well, they're going to hate it too. But you know what? I think the thinking person is not going to have any issue with what I'm saying, especially when you look at it from all sides, really honestly. So let's set a couple things straight right off the bat. And if you disagree with this, you really need to think about what you're saying. Motorcycling is not cheap. It's not inherently safe. Now I say that in comparison to other vehicles like a car or a truck. It is not, buying a motorcycle, it is not a one-to-one comparable with a car. Now I know there are going to be people that say, oh, it's just as safe. What are you talking about? There's motorcycles all over the place. I ride every day. Perfectly safe. Really? Then why may you wear a helmet? Why do you put all kinds of safety farkles on your bike, like wig-wag brake lights and pulsating headlights and high-vis jackets and auxiliary lighting and louder horns and all this kind of stuff to make you safer? If you're in a car, you don't have to do any of that. You just drive it. You get in a crash, most of the time, in a car, not a big deal. Just an insurance debacle. But you're not generally hurt. On a bike, you're generally hurt, no matter what happens. You can fall over in a parking lot. You might break an arm. Bike might fall on top of you. Might break your ankle. Doing nothing. You hit a car moving, a car hits you. Doesn't matter whose fault it is. You're in trouble. And that's really the crux of this whole topic. I've seen, and it seems like it's the last year, and I think it has more to do with the existence of these types of alternatives or websites that are out there to collect money. I have seen so many GoFundMe accounts for somebody that's crashed, it's not even funny. It seems like that's just the thing to do. Oh, you crash your bike, you got hurt, immediately up goes a GoFundMe page. Hey everybody, pay for my medical bills. And that happened just, 2 weeks ago here. Somebody else in one of the groups, they crashed, broke an arm, they were in the hospital a couple days, now they got tons of bills. GoFundMe, hey everybody, pay for my hospital bills. And then you have, unfortunately, the worst outcome. The rider dies. And that just happened the other day, too. Guy was out riding, and it doesn't even matter whose fault it was. If they crash on their own, going around a curve, hit a light pole, that just happened. Or, car hits them in an intersection. Doesn't matter. They're dead. Up goes a fundraiser. Hey, everybody. Family's broke. They depended on this guy for income. Help them out. And while, of course, I don't have anything against the principle of doing that, it's not the kid's fault. It's not whatever family is left fault. They didn't do anything wrong. It's not about punishing them. It's about the whole principle of riding a motorcycle is not a right. It is a privilege. It is a dangerous one. Unfortunately, there are many states out there where you can ride any bike you want in sandals, shorts, and a t-shirt, and nothing else, not have any insurance on anything, and you are perfectly legal. And that's the big disconnect that I'm talking about. Just because something is okay to do doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. In my belief, riding a motorcycle is more about just being able to ride well. Okay, I'm out here, I think I'm a pretty good rider. Not an expert rider, but I'm a pretty good rider. I know I have decent skills. I have confidence when I'm out riding. I'm not scared of doing anything. I'm just having fun. I'm not worried about me making mistakes. I'm not worried about taking a corner. I'm not worried about doing a U-turn. I'm not worried about making an intersection. I'm not worried about stopping in time. I'm not worried about swerving around traffic. I'm not worried about debris in the road. All that kind of stuff that new riders have to think about and be aware about and might be stressing a little about. You know, I'm at that point. I'm not a racer. I'm not a instructor. I'm nothing like that. But I have confidence and I'm out just enjoying when I ride. Just like today. I also choose to wear gear. Now, like I said, there are a lot of states out there that don't require it. Florida's one of them. Florida, until recently, said do whatever you want. You don't have to wear a helmet. You don't have to wear gear. Recently, though, they at least changed that a little bit to where if you're under 21, you have to wear a helmet, or if you have less than $10,000 of health insurance, you have to wear a helmet. But it's not enforced and it's not checked. So anything but the under 21 law is 100% worthless. It doesn't exist. So pretty much anybody can wear a helmet or not, and it's up to their own decision. That's not even what this is about. There's nothing we can do to change that. I mean, that is years of legislature and voting and politics and lots of money and lobbying and all that kind of bullshit. That's not going to change anytime soon in any state. What I'm talking about is what you can do as a rider to be responsible for what happens. I'm not talking about gear because that's about what might happen. I'm talking about what happens. Now, in these cases where people are crashing and they're getting hurt and they're going to the hospital, I even see people where they want to repair their bike or buy another bike. Hey everybody, I crashed my bike and I want to keep motovlogging, but I don't have any money, so buy me a new bike. That happens. And I just think it's ridiculous. Now luckily, I haven't seen any of them succeed. They've all been horrible failures. They might get a few $100 from close friends, and that's about it. And I think that kind of at least solidifies my belief that most people are agreeing with my thought about it. But the big thing is the medical bills and, unfortunately, the death. All right? You crash your bike, you got tens of thousands of dollars in hospital bills to pay, and you're broke. That's not responsible. If you do not have health insurance, I don't believe you should be riding a bike. I don't think you can afford to be riding a bike. And I'll tell you what, the people that are doing this, that are crashing and then asking for donations, definitely can't afford to be riding a bike. They just proved it. They have no money and they have no insurance. You have no right to be riding a bike. Because going back to what I said, it's not about what you can do. Somebody else could hit you. That was my point. I have a lot of confidence in my skills, but I have no control over something random happening out of my control. It can happen. And like I said, on a motorcycle, you're going to get hurt. So when and if something does happen, I'm going to have medical bills. I have health insurance. I didn't always have a normal health insurance policy. In fact, this is the first year in many years that I've had one. I had to get it because, thanks Obama, they hit me with so many fees that I basically don't have a choice. I didn't have it last year. I paid the big fees. This year, if I didn't have it, they would double. So I went ahead and got it. Next year, it's even more ridiculous. And you would be absolutely insane not to have a policy because you'd just be throwing more money out without the insurance. But I had health insurance while riding my motorcycle through my motorcycle insurance policy. Virtually any motorcycle insurance policy you buy can have medical insurance added onto it. I'm insured through Dairyland, and it's insanely cheap. I mean, you're talking dozens of dollars a year to add a good chunk, $25,000 or $50,000 of medical insurance to your motorcycle insurance policy. Now let's go one step further. People that don't have bike insurance. Maybe you just have the bare minimum for your state. Maybe you say, well, I'm broke, I'm a student, I can't afford to have insurance. Then you can't afford to be riding a motorcycle, and you shouldn't be. You should have a cheap car. That's all there is to it. Now let's say, unfortunately, you have a death. Now in my case, I have no kids. I have a small policy. It's enough to cover bills and stuff. That's the only thing that matters. I mean, my wife works, she has her own income, she has her own policy for the same reasons. But we have no kids. We have no pressing responsibility to leave a lot. If we had kids, or for those that do have kids, you do have a responsibility, a big one, to take care of anything that happens. If you ride a motorcycle and you have kids, or you have a family, you have any kind of responsibility like that, and you don't have a policy, you're a jackass. You are basically giving the finger to everybody that depends on you because you don't take the responsibility of getting a policy on yourself. And of course, everyone thinks it's not going to happen to them. The guy that I'm talking about from yesterday, I'm quite sure he thought it would never happen to him because he didn't have jack. He left a daughter. He was a single father with a daughter who had huge medical problems. Well, now she's screwed. She has nobody, and of course the fundraiser was to help her. And the thing that spurred this whole thing was a friend of the guy's who's doing the fundraiser got all pissed off that people aren't giving enough. And I didn't comment or anything. I don't know any of these people involved. But what I wanted to say was, and he was asking, well, why aren't you people giving more money, blah, 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 blah. I wanted to say, well, number one, not everybody knows them. Number two, if everybody gave money to everybody that's asking for it, we'd all be broke in an hour. You have to have some personal connection. And, you know, I'm sorry it happened. I'm sorry the kid's in that situation, but I don't know them from jack squat. It's just a random name on Facebook. So don't get pissed off when people don't hand over money for no reason. I mean, unless you have empathy for the situation and reason to do it, you're not going to get people to donate just because. Those people are out there in thousands. I mean, look at Nepal. People are donating left and right to that. Yeah, there's only so many things you can donate to. You have to have some kind of empathetic connection. But the other reason is, I bet there's a lot of people like me that figure, now this doesn't go so much to this situation because this is about donating to the kid, but donating to people that ask for money because, I just broke my arm and I've got $15,000 in hospital bills. Everybody give me money. Hey, why aren't you giving me money? Well, because that's your problem. Pay it yourself, okay? It might take you 10 years. You should have had health insurance if you're riding a motorcycle. You didn't, and I feel absolutely no sympathy for you. I don't care. you did it to yourself. It's just like the people around here. You know, we've got Florida squids, as they're known. A typical Florida motorcycle rider, man, they're in flip-flops, shorts, and a t-shirt, and I'm not exaggerating. You guys have seen it left or right in my videos. I mean, people riding helmets is the exception to the rule. It's just the way it goes. But when I hear about an accident, and I don't care whose fault it was. I don't care if it was the riders or some car that hit them. When it comes out that they weren't wearing any protection, no helmet, no gloves, no jacket, you know, and they got banged up in an accident, I feel no sympathy. I just don't care. If they were stupid enough to make the decision to do that, to either ride with no gear, to ride without health insurance, and now be slammed with huge bills and broke, that's your own problem. I'm not donating. I don't care. So that's why I know this is going to piss a lot of people off, because I'll bet there are a lot of people riding out there without medical insurance, certainly without a life insurance policy, and there's absolutely no excuse for it, just none. If you have insurance on your bike and you don't have health insurance, you need to call your insurance provider or get online and modify your policy today and add health insurance coverage. What that gives you is if you crash your bike and you end up with tens of thousands of dollars in medical bills, you're only out your little deductible. And you don't have to be a jackass and put up a GoFundMe page to pay for your broken arm and your bad decisions. You know, people say there's a reason for everything. Well, sometimes that reason is you made a stupid decision. And you need to look at yourself in the mirror and realize that, hey, you know what? Maybe what this guy is saying is right. And I need to be a more adult, responsible rider. And I need to have insurance. I need to make sure that when shit happens, other people are covered. And our family isn't devastated by huge bills or the loss of my income if they depend on me. So that's it, guys. A little bit of a serious topic, but one I needed to get off my chest. You know what? If you agree with me, let me know. If you got a story, let me know. If you don't agree with me, let me know. I want to hear the comments. I want to see what everybody has to say. I want you guys to talk to each other about this. I want to see what all kinds of viewpoints are out there. So I think it'll be very interesting, to say the least. I'm going to head on over to the post office. Oh, an update on the GoPro. You might see my remote is back. Yeah, it's back, because it's not the problem. Freaking happened to me yesterday while I was doing the ride out to Quaker. The first clip I did, coming out of the garage, dead cold camera, shut off at 7 seconds. Just pushing the button directly. So that absolutely narrows everything down to the camera itself, and I put in a warranty claim with GoPro. So I'm just waiting for my RMA, and I'll send that one camera back. So, yep, back to the remote. Glad to have it, because now I can glance down, make sure I'm recording, stop and start it, not have to look in the mirror, not have to guess if I'm recording. Some people say, oh, I hate the remote, oh, it's a pain in the butt, it drains the battery. Well, you know what? It doesn't really drain the battery that much. It's about a 10% difference. And you can see exactly what you're doing and not have to guess. That is worth everything to me. My camera is right here in my chin. I can't see it. I have to do the stupid look down in the mirror, and even then it's a squint, because it's far away. You can't really tell what's going on. Here, I can glance down, I see the red light, I'm recording. That's it. Took me a fraction of a second. I can look down, I can read the display, I can see how many minutes it's been recording. That's it. I mean, it works. It does exactly what it's supposed to. With two cameras, same thing. Start and stop them at the same time, makes editing a breeze. You know what's going on. Boom. Super easy. Alright guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up. Share this topic. Share this video. Share it with everybody you know that rides. Let's make it safer out there. Let's be safer out there. See you next time.